Most beautiful insects to enjoy in the garden.
We're talking about butterflies, of course. U of I Extension educator Sandy Mason is here with the dirt. Okay, so what plants do we need to be having in our gardens to attract those beautiful butterflies?
Yeah, I think one of the great things is you don't have to give up on beauty in your garden just if you want to have butterflies and pollinators and all those good things. So especially late season like this, once we start getting into September and even into October, these are some great plants. And this is actually a sedum. It's S-E-D-U-M. And there's a whole bunch of different ones. And they're getting better and better. I think some of them are darker pink than others. This is actually one called Autumn Fire. And so they're really meant to do really great flowering late season. The other thing I love about sedums is just the fact they have great, very succulent leaves. Yeah. They are very tolerant of hot, dry conditions. They really don't have a whole lot of insect and disease problems, and I think they even look good well before they flower. So I just think it's a great plant. They do take full sun or like full sun, so if you have a shady environment, it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, they don't only attract butterflies, but huge bumblebees.
Yeah, bumblebees, honeybees, they all love sedums. And so these are very durable plants, and I just really love having them in the garden, and plus you get the benefit of having butterflies, because the butterflies, we have to remember, a lot of the adults have to feed on something. They feed on nectar, so they need that. Asters are another great plant. They're really good for our gardens, and we have a couple of different ones here. This one as well is one that's more of a daisy type over there. So these are another ones that bloom late season, so we like that because that's when butterflies are going to be around. Most butterflies are around later in the season. So we have this wonderful purple and blues. So these are ones you can go ahead and plant. They're perennials. You can, they'll come back again for you next year and look great.
Did they stay green up until the fall? Is that the idea?
Yeah, they pretty much stay green and sort of hang out for a while. Now, some of them will actually bloom more into August and stuff, so kind of depending on which ones you have. You might have a little bit earlier, but...
I thought that was a mum.
Yeah, they look very mum-like, don't they? Mum's the word. Yeah, they look very mum-like. But I will say, mums are great, late season flowers, but they really are not, unless you have the daisy types. Most of the bumblebees and bees and butterflies can't really feed on them. They really don't have enough nectar in them to feed
so this one's already been doing
we gotta show this. We gotta do this. This is actually out of my garden, and I know people are so interested in monarchs and stuff. This is actually a chrysalis or cocoon. People might be more familiar with it. Yeah, this is actually the chrysalis of a monarch, and you can see it's this bright green. See it? Isn't it beautiful?
It looks like it has like a diamond encrusted rim around it.
Well, it looks like almost like gold, doesn't it? And the whole idea is that it kind of looks like a crown. So that's monarch. The crown, so they're really beautiful. And as you can see, the caterpillars normally would always feed on milkweed. They have to feed on that. But the one thing with this is this one obviously wandered away from the milkweed because they do that. So when you see caterpillars wandering, it's not that they're lost. It's that they're usually trying to find a place that they can either form a cocoon or chrysalis, depending on if it's a butterfly or a moth, or they may be looking for a great place to spend the winter. A lot of the woolly bears and stuff actually overwinter as caterpillars, but they need to be in leaf litter or something like that.
Yeah, we learned about the monarch butterflies when we were at the state fair, and they were actually handing out milkweed seeds for you to plant if you were going to, encourage the butterflies.
They have to have the caterpillars.
Are they in danger?
It's been a tough time because they migrate. People don't realize they actually migrate from Mexico, and so that's a long ways to go. Plus the fact that they have to have milkweeds, and they have to have plenty of flowers to feed on as they travel through. So with the drought that we had last year and throughout the United States, it was very tough on them because a lot of flowers just didn't flower well, or they flowered very short periods of time. So it was a tough year for them. And plus they've had some cold spells and different things going on in Mexico.
Is that milkweed?
This is not milkweed. That's the whole thing. People are not. This is actually a native grass called lovegrass. It's kind of funny, but lovegrass. But just to show that they do wander. They get off. So don't be surprised if you had caterpillars from the monarchs, and then now you're not seeing anything. If you look around, you may find a chrysalis because they wander somewhere, usually a higher point, and they'll go ahead and form their chrysalis or cocoon. I hope this guy comes out soon because it's getting so darn cold that I'm a little worried about him. But, at any rate, hopefully he'll pop out soon.
You've got lots of books here.
Yeah, lots of great books. And I think that's the one thing. Butterfly gardening is so much fun, and we certainly have a lot of interest also in pollinators. And the good news is a lot of those same flowers, those same plants do very well with pollinators.
So you need pollinators. You need something for them to feed on, like milkweed. And so what else do you need to get butterflies and other pollinators to
I think that's the one thing. It actually depends on the butterfly. Like we have swallowtails, or another great butterfly to have, but they need plants in the parsley, lily family, Queen Anne's lace family. They're actually the caterpillars that'll feed on your dill and your parsley. But my feeling is plant plenty of it. Who cares? You'll have plenty for everybody. Let the caterpillar eat some. You can eat some. Everybody's happy. So it really, and that's why it's good to get some good reference books if you're looking for certain butterflies, what plants you might need to plant. Make sure you have in your garden.
And when are they the most active?
Yeah, most of them are late season. Now we do have a few that are actually overwinter as adults, but most of these guys actually either overwinter as a chrysalis like this, or they might overwinter as a caterpillar. So usually we're talking about by the time August, September kind of comes in, those are probably normally our big months. Sometimes July too, but usually heat of summer is really the time you normally think of with a lot of butterflies.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And great plants to have, and I think to me it's so much fun. I know you have kids, and we were talking about I was talking about woolly bears with your kids. It's just so much fun to get kids involved in it, and it's just really a great thing to think about what else is out there besides just the flowers.
Right. All right. Sandy Mason here, giving us all our information on our butterflies and how to attract them. If you need any more information on this topic, be sure to visit CILiving.tv. Up next, though, Joe Barlow's going to show us some unique pieces of jewelry, why this craft truly a family affair. We'll be right back.